So we lived together for a little bit, and my roommates were really uncleanly. They were always leaving dishes in the sink, and I asked them to clean it, and they would never listen to me. But the first real problem was that my roommate, Fancy, decided to flush grease down the toilet. And this is not a great idea in the Northeast where it is freezing, so it froze the pipes and clogged our toilet. She told me she would get it fixed, and she did not. So next thing I know, I'm trying to move on. We had a problem with taking out the garbage. I would always take out the garbage, and they never did. So I finally said, okay, you guys take out the garbage, I give up. And I wanted to see how long it would last. 2 weeks later, it was absolutely disgusting. It was smelling gross, so I had to take it out. And I go to take out the garbage, and I hear a clink on the floor, and I look down, and there were like 7 maggots on the floor. Yeah, disgusting. And the garbage was filled with maggots. So I looked, and the balcony door had been left open. I don't know why, but that obviously was what let them in. And then the final straw was the carpet, because the carpet, it was not super clean when we got there. I was working to clean it. My roommates were always having a lot of parties and boyfriends over, so it was a mess. So I was cleaning the carpet one day, and Fancy walks past me with her snow and mud and dirt on her boots.
Who's Fancy?
Sorry.
I am Your Honor.
Yes. And she just walks right past me, tracking mud all over the carpet, not helping me, like the disrespect. So that was the last straw for me. I told them I was not renewing my lease with them, and I was moving into a new place all by myself. And I get there, and about a month later, I get an email from the landlord saying that we were not getting our security deposit back because of the damaged toilet, the soiled carpet, and a damaged door, which I didn't even know about.
Okay.
When I asked my roommates about it, apparently my other roommate had gotten into a fight with her boyfriend, and they damaged the door. I don't know what that's about, but shouldn't be my responsibility.
So a year of living together, all 3 of you signed a lease.
Yes.
You shared the rent equally in 3 ways.
Correct.
You paid the security deposit equally 3 ways. I understand the security deposit was $2,275.
Correct.
So you basically all put down 1 month's rent of $925, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
And so you lived together for a year. Obviously, did you know each other before moving in
Yes.
together?
Yes,
We worked together.
Oh, you all,
All 3 of us
together.
worked
Yes.
together
We all
Okay.
worked
For 2
together,
years.
Yeah, in
For 2 years,
retail.
and
at a
did you-
department store.
Did you guys like each other?
We were best friends. We all got along.
Really?
Yeah, it was really unfortunate.
Yeah, living with somebody does something, right?
Right.
So,
Seriously.
okay, so you lived together. It wasn't the ideal situation. She's super clean. You guys aren't super clean, or what's the deal?
Well, I consider myself pretty clean, but she wanted it cleaned every single day, and I was like, once a week is sufficient. I'll do my portion. I'll clean up the mess that I made, and everyone else can do their part, right?
What about the common areas, though?
the common areas? Yeah, so I mean, I again cleaned once a week. Anything that I left behind, any mess that I felt was mine, that I would take care of.
Yeah, but who would clean the bathrooms, or who would vacuum the living room or the entryway? Who would clean the kitchen? Because those are all common areas. Your room, you can do whatever the heck you want with it.
Right.
But like the bathroom and the common areas, did you guys have a schedule on who would clean what?
We all just agreed to share responsibility equally. So we all agreed that we would all do our own parts on the apartment.
Okay.
And
all
by
right.
their own parts, they mean do nothing, apparently. So.
Okay, but so you would clean once in a while or never clean?
I cleaned once a week. I did like a little sweep over the areas that I
Did you
used.
clean Miss George's?
I mean, I would clean my room. I would try to help when I could, but I mean, schedules
You
do
never
get
cleaned the
busy.
kitchen or vacuumed the living room?
I mean, every once in a while, not often.
Not often. Who in the year, how many times did you clean the kitchen?
Maybe about 5 times.
Okay. And vacuum the living room?
Probably
Never?
about 4.
4? Okay.
Oh, gosh. The way the plaintiff described that living situation sounds like my own personal hell. Now, as many of you may know, I live with my brother, who, despite us being raised in the same household, we somehow have very different ideas of clean. I know what it's like to live with a roommate who doesn't clean. Now, I'm not saying that Ethan doesn't clean, okay? He's actually quite clean. He's just very annoying. But when you're living with people who are just so blatantly slobs, to the point where the trash isn't getting taken out for 2 weeks, I would be fed up too. And honestly, the attitudes of the defendants, there's just something about the way they talk that's like rubbing me the wrong way here. I don't know if the plaintiff is fully telling the truth of how disgusting that house was, but I'm inclined to believe her.
Why are you suing for your portion of the security deposit back if the landlord told you he's not giving it to you guys?
Right. So none of the damages that were caused to the apartment were because of me. So there's no reason I should have to sue.
Well, the carpet. You said the carpet. You in the letter you have here, the evidence you said that landlord refused, among other things, did not return the security deposit, among other things, in addition to a broken toilet, soiled carpet, and broken closet door.
Yes. So none of those were me. The carpet I tried to clean, and Fancy made it dirtier. Also, I'm sure their parties made it dirtier.
The whole
Yes.
carpet, not just the stairs where Fancy walked with muddy boots, but the whole carpet.
Right.
How am I supposed to divide that in 3 sections?
The carpet was already really dirty when we moved in because we moved in right after the previous tenants just moved out. So the landlord didn't do a very thorough cleaning of the whole
So why don't you guys
apartment.
speak to the landlord and say, hey, this is not fair that you're charging me for the carpet because the carpet was dirty before? I'm sure you guys kept evidence that you emailed him,
Yes,
asked him
there's emails.
to clean it. So why didn't you speak to the landlord?
Also, like for me personally, I just graduated from college and I didn't really know that this wasn't standard because I'm used to dorm living. So I just kind of assumed that, oh, this is how it is. And then I was talking to my friends, my parents, and they're like, you need to do something about this. But by then the lease was kind of expired and it was just like, I'll just find a new place.
There was a lot of already damage to the apartment that the landlord didn't, do beforehand, which wasn't fair to us. And I do understand I was disrespectful when I walked by, and I do apologize for that. But at the end of the day, I have my priorities. I had school, I have work. I'm going up to my room to do my thing. I keep my room cleanly enough. So I do apologize.
What about
for
the
missing
toilet?
that.
What happened to the toilet?
We were making dinner, and honestly, I used to live with my mom in New Jersey, and I don't know, she used to always just pour the grease down the toilet. So in my eyes, that was okay to do. I didn't understand that wasn't a normal thing to be doing. So when I started pouring, grease down the toilet and flushing it, we were in Connecticut, so the pipes did freeze over, and I totally, completely messed up the toilet. I hit up one of my friends, and he said he would come in and clean it and help me with it, but he never pulled through, so then I just ended up looking silly and had all that responsibility.
Okay. And what about the door?
Oh, so that was on my end, and I was ready to pay my full share of rent for that, my full deposit. So my boyfriend's a little overprotective. He gets a little jealous sometimes. It's not anything super serious, but we did have a conversation about text messages I had with a guy friend that he felt were a little flirty, and I denied it.
Anybody, boy or girl,
It was
who
a boy.
gets so mad that they have to break a closet door.
It wasn't broken. It was
Warning
just,
sign, warning sign,
it was
warning
just
sign.
kind of off the track. It wasn't like he.
It doesn't
He, kinda
matter.
ran
He
into
actually
it.
had to use physical force to break it.
But it wasn't broken. It was just kind of like off the
Doesn't
track.
matter. He used physical I mean, you got charged for that.
Right. Which
Just be
also
careful.
I felt.
I'm just saying, just be careful.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, just be careful.
Thank
All
you.
right. You knowingly knew your responsibilities under the lease,
Correct.
right? And you knew that a security deposit could either be given or kept, right?
Correct.
Okay. So how am I supposed to kind of ignore that legality, Ms. Charles, to reimburse you for a third of the security deposit when you live there for a full year?
Because
I mean, if we do this all the time between roommates, we'd be kind of piecing out. It wouldn't be fair to the landlord for us to do this because you as a whole signed a lease. So you as a whole suffer the consequences, whether they're good or bad. You wouldn't be complaining if you got the full security deposit back, would you?
No, I would
Right?
not.
No,
but-
because all three of you get it back. But because you're not getting it, because something broke, among other things, the closet door, the soiled carpet, the toilet. Of course I can say Fancy was responsible for that. Her boyfriend was responsible for that. But if I would pick that apart, I would have to do that for every every tenant, every roommate case. And that's not appropriate under the law, because when you sign a contract, you take a full responsibility of signing that document, and you accept that the landlord may keep equally. It doesn't matter who, right? We can't go on a sliding scale to figure that out. So I'm not quite sure how you feel that you should get the money back, and they shouldn't. You guys are starting your life. You're going to learn that living with people is always a great lesson, whether you think you're great friends or not. You're going to understand about legal responsibility. You're going to understand what it means to sign a contract and what those legal obligations mean. But what I have in front of me is a legal binding contract, a lease that you all signed. And with signing that lease comes legal obligations and some legal consequences, like the landlord can keep the security deposit. Period. Okay? So good luck, girls, and just be a little smart in the future. All right?
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the co-defendants. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
Are you kidding? This is ridiculous. You're still paying me for the door, right?
I'm not paying you. We just went to court. We won. You lost. We all signed an agreement.
Yeah, but
That's what we
you obviously
agreed.
still owe me the money. That's crazy.
I don't. We signed an agreement. We all agreed to pay our share,
Babe,
and you
just talk
paid
to
your
the
share.
landlord. Just talk to the landlord about
Yeah,
it.
contact the landlord. It's
It's
not
not our problem
fault.
at this point. It was genuine accidents.
Judge Perez ruled in favor of the defendants in this case, and she's technically not wrong. Even though I'm sure there's plenty of us out there who wish we could get our security deposit back because of a bad roommate experience. But unfortunately, when we choose to live with someone else, there's a lot of liability that goes into that. It is unfortunate for the plaintiff that because of her roommate's shortcomings, she got punished for it. But this is kind of just one of those life lessons where you have to realize, well, now I know to be very particular about who I live with in the future. And her little mini freak out at the end, demanding that they pay her back for the door, was a little bit embarrassing, not gonna lie. Like, girl, do you understand what we just did here? Like, we're on TV, there's a judge, she just told you that you didn't win. Are you okay? Did the maggots eat your brain? Like, I'm curious to know your thoughts on this case. Let me know in the comments down below.